Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvalrim here, and by the way, if you're wondering, I still can't log in. The footage that you'll see here is recorded like yesterday or 2 days ago. But today we're going to take a look at super shields in solo raids and how to bypass them. And I've made a video about this in the past, but this time we'll also try and play a little bit around with the Kryptonite spear, because that has a pretty decent role in bypassing spears, though in some scenarios it doesn't really work well at all. So that's what we're going to get into today. So with all that being said, if you do enjoy this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this with your league mates, and leave a comment down below, because it really does help. And let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see over here, by the way, it's level 4 spear. So the only thing that matters in terms of level is the fact that I require a little bit of a lower combo to have my attack unblockable. And this is quite effective with the League of Anarchy team, because this allows you to pretty much have a guaranteed stun every single time you tag in Arkham Knight Batman, because Harley Quinn is going to build a huge combo for him, and he also always does his special 2 from a huge combo. The only problem with that in this specific scenario is the fact that the fight against Boss Superman, and as you'll see later on, the fight against Wonder Woman, is not going to be a very good place for the League of Anarchy to be at, because Boss Superman takes reduced damage from basic attacks and at the same time takes no dot damage, and those are kind of the only things that matter for the League of Anarchy. So using the League of Anarchy here, even though in terms of the fluidity of the gameplay there's absolutely no problem, and every single time we'll bypass the shields, the problem is that we're not doing damage, just because this is not a boss that you should be ideally hitting with this team. As you can see, we need to have a 34 hit combo at the very least in order to have an unblockable special 2. And with max fast attack chance on Harley Quinn, that's possible. Like, you might struggle at some points, and if you have a level 1 spear, then you're going to most likely need to have either some fast actions on Arkham Knight Batman, or keep the combos longer with Harley Quinn, hitting Superman even after the stun expires for a little bit. But yeah, other than that, it's going fine, and it's quite reasonable to stack it up all the way here. And this is going to be, though, a very specific scenario, because this team is going to be the only team where you kind of benefit from this without putting it on the damage dealer. Though I guess you could come up with some other ways to use this without putting it on the damage dealer. Like, I'm thinking of a team like even Arkham Knight Batman, if you want to, though you don't have to have specifically him. It works with the Predator Batman or Silver Batman. So you put that with Dr. Fate, King, and pretty much you build a lot of combo. You stun them, then you tag in King, and you do a special 3. That, of course, will require a lot of power to be used in that specific scenario. Like, it's 11 bars of power only for that in total, so you'll need to have kind of a full bar of power when you're starting that. But that is an option to kind of consider, though I don't think it's the most optimal, but we'll get into some other ways. Okay, so as you saw, the damage on that was not great, mainly because of the fact that, as I said, League of Anarchy is not meant to hit here. So now we're going to have King, and we're going to have the Rise of Krypton Spear on him. That's why I didn't proceed to straight away use any ability while I attacked him in, because we didn't have a high enough combo. Okay, so we're going to use the special on a pretty high combo. There we go, and yeah, like, that went well in terms of the percentage damage of health. That was good. But I saw something that's really concerning, and we'll get more in depth into that as this fight proceeds. So the main problem with the spear on King, other than the fact that you're not receiving any attack bonuses, so you're having just the King base attack, and that's quite a big jump from my level 6 firebox or 7. Let me tell you that, not having like 12 million additional attack is quite a huge difference. But other than that, Superman can still use the super shield while you're doing your special 3. As you can see, he used the super shield here. And there's no problem with that in terms of the fact that he does not damage us, he does not interrupt our ability. When he uses that, our ability gets through, we're able to re-engage the combo. But if you pay close attention to the damage of the ability still gets reduced. So he takes the animation of the ability, we don't take the damage from the super shield, we're able to continue the combo, but the damage of the ability is still reduced. As you can see over there, only 40k damage. You'll see that sometimes he randomly throughout this fight doesn't use the super shield when we throw special 3s at him, and over there the damage is going to be far higher. 16k damage per special tree, far lower than our basic attacks. That man is not affecting us directly with the shield, but he's taking the full benefit of having the damage reduced by the shield, and that makes this artifact kind of pointless in this scenario, to be honest. Like, this is a huge letdown. This was an artifact that was anyways not the best artifact in the game, but when you add to that fact the fact that it's going to be situationally annoying. Over here, look, he didn't use the shield, we have 300 million per special tree. Again, he didn't use the shield, we even crit 500k. It was 300k, by the way, not 300 million. But yeah, when you have an artifact that is kind of bad in all situations, but specifically good in situations like this, and when in those situations where it's supposed to be specifically good, it doesn't perform the way it should, then boy oh boy do we have a problem. So yeah, I don't know if this was intended or not, but it's clearly not working well. As you can see over here, he's not using the super shield at the end of the battle over here, and that's great. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, Superman. Even he noticed that this is bullshit, but yeah. You bypass the super shield, but the damage that you deliver through the super shield is going to still be reduced. Great mechanics, ladies and gentlemen, great mechanics. And yeah, over here we're kind of using the alternative version. Like, you have something that's called Class of Force, alright? Class of Force is supposed to stun your enemy, or at the very least have a chance to stun your enemy when you do swipe ups, swipe downs, and swipe right attacks. And that's great, and this guy is not immune to stuns, and when he's under the effect of a stun, he's not going to be able to use any of his... Okay, that was a little bit of a mistake. Again, I'm not used to this gameplay, I don't do this every day, so take this with a grain of salt. But yeah, when he's stunned, he's not going to be able to use any super shield. So you have the choice of putting these on a combo builder and tagging in King when you feel like you're confident to do so. Like over here, he had no chance to super shield that. And keep your firebox on King. But honestly, if you don't have a level 8, 9 or 10 firebox, I think it's really more worth to have the claws on King and do the attacks with him and also the specials with him, because it's simply going to be a more linear experience and easier to execute. Like, I'm going to have this on Shazam, and I'm going to mainly use Shazam over here to do the stuns for me, but this is uncomfortable at sometimes the stuns kick in at awkward moments, and moments where I am unable to really do anything to tag in at that specific moment. And it doesn't help that the Shazam on this account is not particularly tanky. Yeah, Shazam back in. Try to combo interrupt there, and yeah, Shazam is dead, but yeah, you got the main idea of this strategy. Other than that, we can just basic attack him to death, that's always an option. You can't really, like in theory, as you see that I've tried there, sometimes it works, but other times it doesn't. So in theory, after he uses a special attack, he's going to have like a 1 or 1.5 seconds wind down where he can, over there worked. He's going to have a short wind down where he can't activate any other abilities, and the shield is an ability. So after you use a special attack, you're going to have a chance to throw in a special, but because of how this guy works, he might randomly block it while they're trying to do it, even though he just used an ability and he should be vulnerable in theory. Though to be honest, the special tree of King has a little bit of a high charge rate, so yeah, that's also an option. There you go, 2 options in one fight. Use your specials right after you use his special abilities, or use Class of Force. Though do keep in mind that your abilities are going to still be blockable in the middle. So for example, if you got an ability that's going to take a huge amount of time, for example the Batman Ninja Catwoman thing, it might get through like the first half of it and then not get through. Though again, I don't think Batman Ninja Catwoman is the most optimal thing to do there. Next up we got Boss Wonder Woman, and yeah, the League of Anarchy here works fine. The only problem is the fact that we're not dealing any damage on swipe right attacks, because that's pretty much what the boss does. That's something that's that stuff is written on the boss description. Your swipe attacks don't do any damage, or at the very least they do 1 damage. Like, don't get me wrong, you don't miss them, you can use them to still do combo, but they deal no damage. And most of our damage here would in theory be swipe right because of that firebox increase, so that's indeed unfortunate. But this team can work here, and I'm sure with enough time given, somebody could come up with a more efficient combo to do this, where you do as little amount of swipe rights as possible. and only do normal attacks for the most part. You can see that I'm kind of trying to do that here, tanking the super move. And yeah, the swipe right really hurts you, but that's an option. And again, we're going to have the Rise of Krypton Spear on Arkham Knight Batman, and you're going to build combo with Harley Quinn for him. And for the most part, it's going to be a linear experience. You're going to only have a little bit of a rough time at the very start of the fight. Okay, so yeah, we are on combo off over there because, again, we need a 34 hit combo. You're going to have some problems when starting off the fight with building the combo and some problems after she uses the super move. But other than that, you should at all times have enough combo to efficiently do that with Arkham Knight Batman. And yeah, again, if you have just a level 1 spear, just try and get somehow to a 40 hit combo. You can alter your basic attacks to Heartbreak Harley Quinn so that she stays longer in there and does more basic attacks. While on the remain stunned, you can also back off, let her use an ability on her Arkham Knight Batman and then re-engage and stun her. And yet again, she's not stun immune, so you can use pretty much any Batman. Arkham Knight Batman back in. Going for a special 2. Heartbreak Harley Quinn in. And again, I'm not using... I'm not sure I'm using the most optimal basic attack chain, I guess, but playing this fight 2 times is kind of too little of an amount of practice to really get to kind of build a certain setup of attacks. That, again, maximizes normal attacks and does close to never swipe rights. But I think it's going fine enough. Again, this damage is not going to be comparable to the damage that you usually deal in other fights, because it just isn't, because you're missing the swipe right. But it's going to be fine, okay? It's going to be fine. And we ended up with a total of 47 million. That's fine. So yeah, over here we're using Black Manta. And again, do not take this as a benchmark. My Black Manta is not a well-built Black Manta by any means. He's 3 stars and level 40 gears. So do keep that in mind before we get into this. And the problem is yet again the swipe right, because most of Manta's damage would be on a swipe right. And yeah, over here at the start there's a lot of time where I'm trying to figure out if she's combo interruptible, and I get a lot of very hopeful here at the start. Then she interrupts me again. And over here, yet again, we try to combo interrupt her. We managed to. And over here, I'm like, oh, that's easy. She's combo interruptible. But then, nope, again. Over there, I'm like, come on, Sigvald, focus. It's your fault. It's your fault. She's combo interruptible. Okay, it worked again. Okay, it didn't work again. And at this point, I'm like, nah. Like, I'm really trying to monitor my movements and my taps. And I can... with a 90% certainty guarantee you that she's not combo interruptible, but you can combo interrupt her by luck, and we just got very lucky over there at the start. So at that point, combo interrupting her is just not worth it. And as you can see, we also broke our stacks from our passive. So we gotta build back up from 0 stacks all the way up to 20. And what I'll come to notice actually... Okay, so she is going to do a super move here. That special one was a mistake over there. But yeah, Black Manta back in, and something that I'm going to notice, and you might also make use of this if you're using a basic attack-centric team. Again, this is not the best thing you could use here, but if you're doing so, then do keep in mind that she will, at some points, use special 1 after doing a jump attack. But for the most part, if she does a jump attack, you're going to have absolutely no problem re-engage the combo, because she's not going to use any ability. You can see that I'm constantly doing this. Like, if I figured this out from the start of the match, this would have been far more easy for me. And at the same time, we're not doing many swipe right attacks, we're just doing one at the middle, and most of the time we're doing normal attacks. And that's just great for us. Just swipe back, she does a jump attack and re-engage the combo. As you can see, a lot of the time she didn't use any special attacks, so that's great. We can just keep hurting her like this. Like, honestly, if I did this from the start, I think I would have stood a pretty good chance to clean her up on this pip. We'll eventually clean her up. There's no problem with that. Of course, if I can get access to my account, that would be nice. That would be real nice. If we manage to get access to our account, we're going to clear her up. If not, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, dislike if you dislike it. Maybe share it with your league mates, it really helps and I appreciate your support. And all that being said, I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye. And yeah, the damage is garbage, but yeah.